Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lee Halkett.
I'm Matt.
And we'll be introducing our speaker, Tong Simte.
Tong Simte is a junior at Juice High School and is involved in Hosa, Size and the Pre-Med and the Juice Orchestra.
He's noticed that society has become more desensitized to extreme and emotionally intense content, as moments that were meant to be cherished or grieved have now become an 11-second clip on social media for views. From people's first steps to their final words, being turned into content merely for shock value.
Through his presentation, he asked everyone to acknowledge and be aware of what they consume on social media. Please welcome Tong Simte onto the stage.
Normally have the same viewpoints or ideas as me. Then I realized something important. People will always disagree. That's natural. I mean, they have different perspectives and ways of life. Deciding whether Taco Bell, Chipotle, or even Wingstop is the stop for lunch that day, or arguing over what is the coolest sports car. We all disagree over such trivial things. Some things, however, some things are extreme. Things such as violence, bullying, hate, harassment, and to even kill without probable cause. All of form of intentionally causing harm to someone or something. Some things that are so clearly and morally wrong that everyone suddenly agrees. Agrees what? Agrees that such things are wrong. Now, when you're first exposed to such content, at first, it stops you mid-scroll, mid-bite, mid-sentence, even mid-thought. Such news, tragedies, killings, cruelty beyond what even feels human. And just for a moment, everything around you pauses, suspended in time there all around you. And yet, you feel it, you react to it, you acknowledge it. But then that concept pops up again, and again, and again. Now imagine this. You wake up in the morning, you grab your phone, and before you even jump out of bed, you've already been exposed to the worst parts of humanity. A caption, a clip, media, or even a comment section full of arguments or mockery of the worst thing beyond your former imagination. And yet you scroll, not because you don't care, but simply because your brain cannot afford to stop every single time and acknowledge that. So what does it do? It adapts and it chooses to move on. This is how technology changes us. Not an instantaneous change where after exposure, suddenly you become indifferent to such extremes. No, not at all. The change comes from that constant exposure to social media. That constant, it suppresses and changes the way your minds, your brains think. And the worst part, sometimes you don't even realize it because your minds have already fallen victim to the numbness fabricated by that constant exposure. Now, in accordance with typical human morals, indifference isn't something we as a functioning society should accept. According to a research article by Larry R. Taylor et al., individuals who were exposed to extreme content during the pandemic displayed extreme deterioration of their emotional availability. This was, in the research article, it was highlighted that this was caused due to the increased exposure to content through the lockdown and through technology. Well, why did exposure lead to our indifference? And why does it feel so normal to many? Or moreover, why is it so normal to many? Well, in order to gain something, you must give something up. Well, we're gaining our indifference, right? That's not at all. In fact, you are losing your emotional availability. But for what? What are you giving in exchange? Or what are you gaining in exchange? Well, to start off, individuals who have been exposed to content, media, they're essentially exposed to flashing lights, bright lights, loud noises, and extreme content. What does this lead to? Well, essentially, this leads, first it's normal, obviously. I mean, like, when you first receive your first brand new Lego set, car, or even video game, it's all fun at first. You're exposed to that content. But over time, it is inevitable that you'll eventually get bored of it. Whether it be in the span of a few days, weeks, months, or even years. And here's the crazy part. Why are you getting bored? Well, that exposure, especially to content, when you first get on social media, it's fun. I mean, the content is entertaining, whether it's for news or entertainment. But then you get used to it. When you slowly get used to it, all of a sudden you get bored. When you get bored, social media companies don't like that. Why don't they like it? Well, the more bored you get on the platform, the less money they receive. Why do they receive less money? Because they're paid for the amount of time and activity you do on the platform. So what do? Well, they manipulate your algorithm. Well, how do they do it? They give you more flashing lights, bright lights, extreme content. That's the final result. However, it's not instantaneous. They don't give you extreme news all of a sudden. It's slow, it's progressive, and it builds up. Why does it build up? Because they want you to want more content, more extreme content. And what does it benefit them by? It gives them more money because you spend more time in hopes of finding more content that feeds your brain more dopamine. Now, this is where things get a little tricky. Because although there's extreme content, there's essentially a boundary that needs to be met. And they can't cross that boundary by feeding you extreme content. So they set a limitation. That slow progression of extreme content they give you is to essentially benefit themselves, manipulate the rules. They have a certain standard for which they cannot feed certain types of content. However, what they can do is manipulate the progression by which you slowly but surely build up the time and exposure you get on that social media platform. Now, how does this relate to new eyes? Well, the thing is, your new eyes have already formed. Not new eyes that can see more clearly, but new eyes that can function, that can see faster than what your brain can function. Your eyes learn to observe instead of absorb content. Your eyes learn to recognize content as entertainment rather than fully recognize it as what it truly is. And finally, it acknowledges the content as entertainment rather than being emotionally invested into it to truly understand what it is. This is what engineered indifference looks like. It's not people choosing not to care. It's people not being able to care at full capacity. Social media platforms are built around this. They shape your algorithm. They give you entertainment. They give you information. They don't feed you wrong information. That's something you must establish clearly. It's highly legal for them to give you misinformation. However, they can shape that information, the rhythm of it, the beat of it, the way you scroll past certain social media networks and look at it. They can give you misleading highlights and still tell you the truth. But who cares about that, right? Most of us just scroll past it and be like, oh wow, this really happened. I'm not going to research it, but it really happened. I saw it on my phone. Now, this is essentially the whole scheme of social media. I mean, if you think about it today, there are many big things that happen, situations that happen. Like, let's say your favorite soccer team finally wins a match. Wow, you're happy, right? You hop on your phone. Within seconds, within minutes of the game ending, all of a sudden, you see a post about it, or remix, a story, or reply about it. And all of this information piles up because many people are fans of that soccer team. I mean, there's just so much content, just mindlessly scroll past it. You're not understanding that content. You're simply seeing, oh, the team won, and they're making comments about it. You're not understanding that content to its fullest extent. Instead, you're just skipping past it. Now, let's skip soccer. Let's go into extreme news. At first, you see the normal content like soccer. However, this constant exposure, all of a sudden, the dopamine that you receive from such entertaining content goes down. You want more extremities. So, once again, the algorithm shapes it to where you now receive extreme news. And so, this is what's so dangerous about our new eyes. Our new eyes are teaching us to see the world. I mean, we only see everything in the world, right? However, it's not teaching us to know the world. There's a difference between seeing and understanding. I can see you. However, do I know how old you are? Do I understand you? Do I know your name? Do I know the way you live? No, not at all. Social media is quite literally shaping us. And how is this all possible? Through that word right there. It starts with the T, technology. All of this technology that we have at our disposal. I'm sure all of us have our phones right now, unless you put it in your bag or something. But it's all available for us. This insensitivity that is caused by social media is available to us all. And I'm sure most of us have been insensitized towards it. Like when you guys see a meme about Charlie Kirk, it seems funny, right? A song. However, it's a song indirectly mocking a man who has died. Whether he was a bad person doesn't matter. It matters that a man died and the internet is almost quite literally making fun of him. Making fun of a dead man. Now, this is where things get really dangerous. Because now that we see everything, we're still not understanding it. These jokes are coming around. but we don't want to take a step towards changing it. We just see it as entertainment, scroll past it. We realize it, but we don't fully address it. So, let me ask you guys this real quick. Do these new eyes that you receive, are they giving you a new outlook on this world? Are they giving you knowledge and awareness about this world? Or are they simply teaching you to see everything, only to feel nothing? And so, I ask you guys again, think about that to yourself for a bit. And don't give me your answer. Keep these answers to yourself. And now, moving forward from that, once you answer that question to yourself, think about another question. What are you going to do? Are you simply going to mindlessly scroll past another meme that mocks a dead man or mocks people in struggles? I mean, entertainment has become such a strange term nowadays. Human suffering is seen as content, something to scroll past. A human emotion, a human event seems like just another post to scroll past, just because, I don't know, you have nothing else better to do. So instead of, I'm not asking you all to step up today and go make a change in the world or something. I'm asking you guys to examine yourselves. Take a look at yourself and ask yourself, am I being desensitized to this content? Am I already being affected? And am I taking it too far to the point where I find suffering as entertaining? Or am I still at the point where I might be getting desensitized, but I'm just not realizing it yet? So I'm not asking you guys to make a change. I simply suggested some changes. However, I'm asking you guys to acknowledge and re-examine yourselves, whether or not you are at the point where I'm talking about, or you guys are just thinking about something else. So I ask you guys again, are these new eyes giving you understanding and awareness of this world? Or are they simply teaching you to see everything, only to feel nothing?